What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the BS Show. If you have not seen the video that Steven uploaded on Justin Gaethje versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, I highly recommend you do so. That is one of the most anticipated fights of the year, and Steven and I are both extremely excited about it. I'm not even going to try to do a video. I just want to simply give my fight pick and my 3 takeaways from the Khabib-Gaethje fight. So we've had a lot of support on that video, and we've also had a lot of recommendations on giving our fight picks. So I believe in Steven's video, he picked Khabib to win that, which is a great pick. Khabib's dominant. He's undefeated. I mean, the guy beats everybody, ragdolls him to death, so you can't really blame him. But my 3 takeaways are a little bit different. I might say a little bit of the same stuff that Steven said in that video, so I apologize. But my 3 takeaways are, number 1, how is Khabib Nurmagomedov going to handle the loss of his father? His dad had a huge presence in his life, turned him into the man that he is today, was right there alongside him through his fight journey, going into MMA, from wrestling and then going into the UFC and becoming UFC champion. We always seen those 2 guys together, so I can only imagine how that must feel, losing, such a huge part of your life, especially someone who had such a huge imprint in the way that you fight and that you're wrestling and everything. So my first question really is where's Khabib's head at? We all know he comes from a great training camp out there in California. He's got former champions like Luke Rockhold, Daniel Cormier. He's just got a slew of guys at his disposal to train with, but you can't ever fill that void when you lose someone really close to you. So I'm just curious how that's going to turn out. I think it's either going to be extreme motivation and he's going to try to win this for his father. He's an extremely religious guy. Or is it really going to kind of take a mental toll on him, and is he gonna maybe not perform up to what he normally does? But the good thing is Khabib seems like a pretty mentally strong guy. We've seen fighters try to get into his head. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. He's pretty calm, cool, and collected. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. My second thing is going to be Gaethje striking and kicks. We've all seen Gaethje striking, and it's, pretty much on par with some of the best strikers in MMA, and his leg kicks are dirty and they're nasty, and Khabib's whole fight game kind of predicates off grappling, getting that takedown, that chain wrestling, getting you against the cage and pulling you down and getting some ground and pound. But he's never really had a guy that was really good enough to stuff the takedowns or stuff a high percentage of those takedowns or really successfully land leg kicks to slow down Khabib's ability to initiate and land those takedowns. So I think where Justin Gaethje can be very successful in this fight is, number 1, with his striking. He's got great striking. We've seen him piece up Tony Ferguson. We've seen him piece up Eddie Alvarez. We've seen him piece up, Poirier, even though we lost that fight. The dude is a great striker. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But his leg kicks are nasty, they're brutal, and that's where he's really going to slow down Khabib, because Khabib doesn't hide anything. He doesn't try to be tricky. We know what he's going to do. We know he's going to try to wrestle. So Gaethje has to be able to do that. And what a lot of people don't understand is, although Gaethje doesn't even use his wrestling, he is a great wrestler. He is an absolute stud wrestler. He just simply doesn't use it. I don't know if maybe he had cardio issues back in the day with his wrestling, or he just is afraid to get wore out, but he doesn't even use his wrestling. So if Justin Gaethje can stuff takedowns, or even a very high percentage of takedowns, or even if he does get taken down, pop right back up, keep the distance, use his striking to keep Khabib at bay, and even land some leg kicks to really slow down Khabib's attack, that might be a long day at the office for Khabib. So we don't know. We just got to wait and see. I do know that Gaethje surprised the heck out of me when he fought Tony Ferguson. I never would have thought that fight would go like that. I never once had any doubt in Gaethje, but I was really high on Ferguson. Ferguson looked like a man amongst boys, and he was going to run through everybody, and Gaethje just put a stop to that real quick. So I was really surprised with that, and I think Gaethje's striking is on a whole nother level. He has one of the best striking coaches in MMA, so one would assume he's only getting better and better and better. And my third thing is going to be, how is Gaethje's cardio and how is Khabib's cardio? We've seen in the past Khabib have cardio issues, or at least look a little bit tired. That is not the case with Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje pushes forward at all times. He doesn't let you breathe. He's always touching you. He's always kicking you. He's always bobbing and weaving. He is in your face all the time. So how is Khabib going to handle that? If Khabib can't land these takedowns, or if he does get a takedown, if Gaethje pops right back up, is that going to zap Khabib? Is Khabib going to get tired? And now that this is a title fight, we're going 5 rounds. So is Gaethje going to be able to drag Khabib into that deep water, wear him out, and then in the 4th and 5th round, crank up the intensity and maybe get a stoppage? I know that sounds crazy to think that someone might stop Khabib, but I thought it was crazy that someone would work over Tony Ferguson the way that they did. So I'm going with, how is Khabib going to handle the loss of his father? How is Gaethje going to do with stopping the takedown and his striking and his leg kicks? And how is Gaethje's cardio going to be, with the extremely good wrestling and high-level wrestling of Khabib Nurmagomedov? So my fight pick in this fight, I am going with Justin Gaethje in a decision. I think both guys are studs, and you honestly can't really pick a bad guy in this fight. But I'm going with Justin Gaethje because he's got great striking, got great takedown defense, and he's got great cardio. So I'm going Justin Gaethje via decision. So let me know in your comments below who you got. I know a lot of people are probably going to call me crazy for picking Gaethje, but hey, I've picked crazy ones before that happened, but I could see both guys winning this fight. They're both absolute studs. Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good one.